of you, here we would like to present our final project, which is titled Effect of Different Cooking Methods on Physical Properties in Content and Antioxidant Activity of Tempeh Dumpling Wrapper.
For the introduction, nowadays, the utilization of indigenous and helpful food resources is very limited. Tempeh is fermented Indonesian traditional functional food which generally made from soybeans. It is rich in protein and has hybrid significant bioactivities such as anti-dry health, anti-hyperlipidemia, and antioxidant activities. In addition, dumpling is a long-established traditional dish originated from China. The attribute of dumpling wrapper is very essential and usually it made of wheat flour or all-purpose flour as gluten network plays a major role. Unfortunately, the fluctuate price of wheat flour short supply, meeting the needs of celiac disease consumer. Nutritional deficiencies and perishability of tempeh product have driven food industry to find the alternative food approach. Hence, we was producing gluten and egg-free tempeh dumpling with tempeh flour and some other gluten-free ingredients such as glutinous flour and potato starch, xanthan gum and chia seed to mimic gluten function. However, cooking method employed in food preparation has been found to lead nutrition loss according to Young et al. 2019. Nutrients may be lost during cooking in two ways, where first by degradation which can occur by chemical change such as oxidation and secondly by leaching into the cooking medium. In fact, previous studies have stated that nutrient acquisition of the tempeh product is related to the cooking technique. Furthermore, aside by Virus et al. 2019, they also mentioned that steaming soybean flour lowered their antioxidative potential. Tempeh fermentation boosts antioxidative effect in all three raw materials. As a result of cooking, food which are otherwise rich in some essential nutrients may have lost them, or such nutrients may not be available when the food is consumed. Muyiwa et al. 2018. Thus, our group grabbed this opportunity to study the effect of different cooking methods on physical properties, protein content, and antioxidant activity of our tempeh dumpling wrapper.
Firstly, soybean tempeh was cut into pieces 1 cm x 1 cm and dried at 16 Celsius for 1 hour for 45 minutes using convection oven. Then ground and sealed by using mesh size 0.250 mm. Desired tempeh flour was produced. Then tempeh flour was mixed with glutinous flour, potato starch, chia seed, xanthan gum, and water to produce a dumpling wrapper. There are two cooking methods that have been studied in this project. Firstly, for stir fry method, 5 grams of oil and 3 grams of water will be added into a pan. Continuously, the sample placed on the pan and it was stir fry at 300 Celsius for 5 minutes. Whereas, for steaming method, 300 ml of water was poured into a steaming pot and a tray fixed inside it. Then, the tray was covered with a muslin cloth and it is very necessary in the steaming process. Subsequently, the sample placed on the tray and it was steamed at 100 Celsius for 15 minutes. 4 types of sample were prepared: stir-fry tempeh dumpling wrapper, steamed tempeh dumpling wrapper, stir-fry control dumpling wrapper, and steamed control dumpling wrapper. Total 4 analyses were carried out on each sample and each assay were replicated. Each assay result were analyzed using SPSS by pair sample test to obtain the mean value standard deviation. Texture analysis. Texture analysis is a physical property and analysis to examine the hardness and chewiness of the sample using a profile CT3 texture, chewiness and mm. Hardness multiply cohesiveness and multiply springiness used to calculate chewiness. And number 2 is moisture content analysis. It is also a physical property analysis to determine the moisture content in the dumpling wrapper by using the KISA XM15 moisture analyzer. The self-test was performed followed by automatic initial test function. Number 3. Protein analysis. It is a proximate analysis to evaluate the protein content in the sample by Kejal method using the Kejal analyzer. UDK 159 and register with some chemical reagent such as catalase tablet, concentrate sulfuric acid 95 until 98% and 32% sodium hydroxide solution, 40% boric acid solution, 0.1 and hydrochloric acid and 0.1% methyl rate indicator. Number 4. Antioxidant activity analysis. The pH analysis is used to determine the antioxidant activity in the sample using UVVs, spectrophotometer, NBK, T5K, KII centrifuge with some chemicals such as DPPH powder and 99% of methanol. Then calculate the radical scavenging activity.
So now I am going to talk about data analysis for our research. First, this is graph and result for DPPH analysis. Second, for the moisture content analysis. Third, graph and result for protein content analysis. And the last for texture analysis. These are the impact of our research. First, highly impact to community and consumer who are health conscious. The moisture content and texture of the cooked tempeh dumpling wrapper was nearly similar to the cooked control dumpling wrapper. Hence, the rate of consumer acceptance will be high among the community as the tempeh dumpling wrapper resembles the control dumpling wrapper in terms of physical properties. The protein content in the steamed tempeh dumpling wrapper was the highest. Thus, consumer can be benefited by consuming it as it can increase the proportion of protein in consumer diet. The antioxidant activity in the stir-fry tempeh dumpling wrapper was the highest, so the intake of tempeh dumpling wrapper will upgrade antioxidant such for each of the consumers. The production of tempeh dumpling wrapper using gluten and egg-free ingredient will be a greater chance to attract the gluten and egg intolerant as gluten-free product on high demand nowadays. Second impact, environmental impact and toward food sustainability support. Tempeh is highly perishable and underutilized. If the tempeh is used with the expired date, it will get spoiled and lead to food wastage unintentionally. Since we are processing tempeh into flour form and incorporate in gluten-free dumpling wrapper, this helps to prolong its shelf life. We are maximizing the use of tempeh product and reduce food wastage at the same time. Third impact, economy impact. The cost of transporting food across the globe is costly and cause carbon emission too. Hence, purchasing such from local sellers will be a great support and contribution to our community's economy and also decrease the impact on mother nature. In the case, purchasing our traditional food such as tempeh from local seller will be very much helpful to support the food sustainability economically. The last impact, social impact, and health marketability and commercial value. Even though people nowadays are conscious of lifestyle, related diseases, and switching to a healthy diet, but they are lacking of food product choices. They are our product will fulfill their craving and provide enough nutrient as well. As all now, gluten-free product a lack of protein and addition of tempeh flour will beneficially increase protein level in the food product.
I'm Kartika Ganesan will discuss the result obtained. According to the moisture content assay result, two different cooking methods affect the moisture content of dumpling wrapper and both are significantly different due to the water evaporation rate during cooking process. The temperature of steaming is less than stir fry method. Hence, the components such as starch, protein or other macromolecules in the steamed dumpling wrapper can be retained, whereas stir fry method destroy the components. Referred to Yungfeng and others, existence of these components result in poor mobility of water whereby the components hold the water and not easy to lose. Therefore, steaming method maintain moisture than stir fry. Besides, there is no significant difference between the tempeh dumpling wrapper and control dumpling wrapper, which means the composition of dumpling wrapper does not affect the moisture content. Hence, steam method aids in maintaining moisture content of dumpling wrapper. Next, the antioxidant result graph demonstrates that stir-fry tempeh dumpling wrapper contains the highest amount of antioxidant. Meanwhile, steam-controlled dumpling wrapper has the least antioxidant. This result is supported by Nixon and Bryan stated that the antioxidant value in samples after cook is followed the order. Microwave method has the highest antioxidant activity continued by stir-fried, steamed, raw, and lastly boiled. Furthermore, based on Augustina and others, tempeh is originally high in antioxidant activity. Thus, incorporation of tempeh flour in gluten-free dumpling wrapper has increased the antioxidant value to eat. Therefore, stir-fry cooking method and existence of tempeh flour improves the antioxidant percentage in dumpling wrapper.
I'm Kartika
That's all from
I'm going to continue presenting the summary of project, mainly the texture analysis and protein content analysis. Firstly, the texture of the dumpling wrapper was determined where almost both the cooked wrappers had similar chewiness level as accepted. The chewiness of the tempeh dumpling wrapper is not significant to the chewiness of control dumpling wrapper. It means the chewiness of tempeh dumpling wrapper resembles the chewiness of the control dumpling wrapper and consumers tend to accept the texture of the product. Next, the protein content was determined via the casual method and the steamed tempeh dumpling wrapper had the highest protein content. Indeed, its higher amount of protein content can be retained in steamed food compared to stir-fried food. Meanwhile, temperature of the cooking methods also affect the protein content of dumpling wrapper. Based on the cooking methods, dumpling wrapper steamed at 100 degrees Celsius were stir-fried at the 300 degrees Celsius. The extreme temperature of stir-frying also leads to the protein loss in the dumpling wrappers. Hence, it was concluded that the objectives of the research were achieved and the tempeh dumpling have marketability and commercial values. Consumers will accept the product because it is rich in protein and antioxidant, plus has desirable physical properties. Subsequently, it is recommended for the future researchers to continue the study by conducting the optimization on drying temperature of tempeh to maintain the level of antioxidant. In addition, can conduct optimization of time and temperature on the cooking methods. Through this, the best temperature and time of cooking dumplings can be identified. Eventually, commercially, the tempeh dumpling wrapper has the marketing potential and it is also very convenient for the gluten and egg intolerance. Moreover, people that suffer from malnutrition also can consume the tempeh dumpling as it is rich in protein and antioxidants. That's all from us. Thank you so much.